now. Hello. Hello. We should be.
I believe I'm here. I'm not
Just
just
let me
not.
see. Tell us if it's actually working. Yes,
I
I think
mean,
it's working. It's working. Right.
oh yeah, I
Hello.
think so too.
Right. Here we go. Hello. We've got an hour. I've just
I
fixed
I, I
the
mean, I believe I'm here.
countdown.
I'm not just
So let me see.
can see it.
Tell us if it's actually. Could you just mute your one, please?
I have muted mine.
Okay, so it
Yes,
should
I
be
mean,
fine. It's working. It's working. We have 59
oh yeah, I think
minutes
so too.
until. Right, here we go. We've got an hour.
Just reset the timer.
I've just fixed the
I believe I'm here.
countdown.
I'm not. So
So let me see.
Is
Is
it?
there any way you can mute that because we got some weird stuff going on? Right, is
I
that all
mean,
muted now?
mine is muted. Mine's
Okay,
definitely
it's fine.
muted.
Sorry
And
about
there's
that.
no way you could hear it anyway.
Right, technical difficulties are over with now, and in 1 hour, 59 minutes, 13 seconds, what if Doctor wasn't axed? Season 42.
I wonder if this whole season 42 like I wonder if we're just doing this because season 42 is 2005 and the
No,
revival
no,
special.
it's just because I thought we should have a question and answer session sort of thing. I think we
Yeah,
should.
I
So
think it's well timed for season 42. So
yeah. So bringing your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. We shall be going over sort of the origins of this series
I
as
I
well.
mean I haven't prepared any questions, but I'll just think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Speaking of the origins of the series, how did they begin?
Well, it began a long time ago in
In a
about
galaxy far, far away.
December 2015, when this idea first came about. Yeah, it was someone had commented on a video actually. Oh, this would be a cool idea, and I sort of ran with that. And I looked at the other sources and thought, yeah, I can do this. So I started planning. I originally planned actually all the way up to season 42, where we are now, but it was very different to begin with. It was what's
I
the
mean,
word? Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah,
what
yeah.
from what I could gather, like he has shared info with me. I'm an inside source. Season 35 onward was going to be very different.
Mhm.
Aesthetically, it was going to be more or less the same. Like the title sequence was going to be very similar, although there were quite different.
Yeah.
But let's just say season 35 is very different from one of the stories that I know was going to be in it.
Yeah. It was
So
originally supposed to follow, say, the Big Finish route, I would say. And I
yeah,
thought, well, that's a bit dull because if you want to see what happens then, you can just sort of look at Big Finish, really. There's no difference, if you say so.
yeah, like you've got the storm warning,
Hmm.
like it chimes midnight, which you eventually used chimes of midnight, but only because most people would kill you if you didn't.
Yeah, and I had
So
it right around the right time as well.
I mean, a year later, but
Yeah,
still, and with Colin, but still,
yep. So that's how it came about. I
yeah,
planned all the way up to season 42 actually originally. Now, season 42, it's definitely, if you're wondering, it's a very much a continuation of season 43.
you mean season 41?
Season 41, sorry. Season 43 is not quite yet. That will be soon. Um,
Yeah,
and it goes in its own way. Discards some of the plot lines started in there. Brings in some new ones. Anyway, we've got some questions coming in. Should we begin with the first one, which is, what is your favourite episodes and least favourite episodes you have done? So, I'm going to take this as episodes of the
as in
series.
seasons.
So, as in seasons, I'm going to take this.
Yeah,
So, my favourite one, I think, I enjoyed the most doing probably was season 41 because I was able to start really from scratch and see how this would build up in a way that could have been done feasibly at the time, and also inputting a lot of my own ideas in, because by the time you get this point, a lot of it is all guesswork by this point, because you
yeah.
can't really work out what's actually going to happen anytime after, probably season 32 or season 33. And you can definitely tell that. And the only reason I really am continuing this is because people want it to continue.
Yeah, I would say my favorite of yours is probably season 33 because that's like fresh and you bring in a lot of like, I don't know, none of the episodes sound like filler and only one of them sounds like complete and utter
Rubbish.
bad rubbish. Mainly because Pip and Jane Baker, but oh well. And then I'd say my second favorite would be season 40.
Season 40. Yeah, that was fun to do.
Yeah, because that season sounds like a fun romp. Well, not like you know what I mean, like it's all over the place with all the different doctors. And also probably my favorite Doctor Who story of all time, like in terms of outside media, was put into there. So I think, combination of all of that. And plus, I'm not too bothered that Colin was the Doctor. I like Colin. A lot.
Yep, so we've got
I know
another
you
one.
do a lot more than me, but yeah.
Yeah, so we've got another question. Do you own issue 255 or as a copy of DWM, or did you read it online or own the real copy? Now, I read it online. I do intend to get the copy, it's a bit difficult to get hold of them. I know they're on eBay and stuff. Yeah, it's just difficult, and it's easy just to read it online. It's one of the few Doctor Who magazines in full that really are online. It's great, and that's when most of the ideas for the series came.
I've not read it all personally, but I have seen it. I've read a bit of it, and I'm just confused about the passage at the start, like referring. Is it like essentially their own version of what?
I think it's just their guess, and I think Doctor Who may have been cancelled, even if it did go for a few more seasons afterwards. But my rule on this was that it's what if Doctor Who wasn't axed, where it never does actually get axed, because it would just be boring. Saying, oh yeah, I've done a few seasons, now it's been cancelled. So that was the rule I made.
And doing it from like 1990, like season 27 onward, would be a lot easier than if you decided, what if they didn't fire Colin Baker? What if the original season 23 happened? Because I've seen a lot of other things online say that under like, what if Doctor Who wasn't cancelled? What if Doctor Who wasn't axed? And yeah, I've seen a lot of that. And there was one that basically made it so that the Sixth Doctor then had Evelyn, then Mel, then we had the Seventh Doctor in the 90s with like Mel, Ace, Ket, Benny, regenerated the Eighth Doctor.
And the thing is, I went off that, and also some documentaries that have been released about it, and it was pretty much already said that Sylvester McCoy was only doing 4 years. He wanted to do 3 years, but JNT apparently said he could only do 2 if he decided to do 3, and had 4th. Bit confusing, but that's how it went. So, another question. Who was your favourite Doctor in the What If Doctor Wasn't Axed timeline? So, I'm going to ask you this. Who is your favourite Doctor?
This is a tough one. If I said Sylvester McCoy, I bet people would be mad at me.
One of the original ones that are in there.
One of the original ones. Would Paul McGann count?
You can say Paul McGann, because I say it would be drastically
different. I'd say, like,
different.
Paul McGann and Richard Griffiths. Like, I can't decide between the two. I mean, in real life, I really love Paul McGann's Doctor from Big Finish and stuff. And I know you do too.
Yes, I do.
Not as much as me, because we rank him slightly differently, but still, he's amazing. Perfect choice. And I think if he was cast in that time, he would be one of the youngest Doctors, and I don't think people would mind seeing him because he's great. He'd be great, unlike Peter Davison.
Yeah, with Paul McGann, I think the idea was that I think he would have been cast then anyway. I think so, because I think it's just one of those actors that no matter how it would have gone, I think in the 90s he would have been the choice anyway. Yeah,
like young or old, he would have been great. And Richard Griffiths, I feel like, okay, he may not have the build of the Doctor, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to say, oh, the Doctor should be slim and sexy and, ooh, he should be a muscly man. No, I'm saying, well, even with like, I guess he could have a sort of Hartnell sort of movement.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, we've discussed that he probably would be a mixture of Hartnell and McCoy.
Yeah, I would
Also, I'm
say
not
so.
saying if you're fat, you can't be the Doctor. No, I'm just saying I have trouble seeing that in my head.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
it would have been
other
a
people
more
was like chubby
reserved Doctor, not,
or
and that's why he's got the character of Henrik as the companion, because Henrik's the young one who can run down corridors, do all that sort of stuff, whereas Griffiths is much more, I would say, more of a Doctor that would walk down corridors, not run down them, would use his mind much more than Henrik would.
even then, Seventh Doctor used his mind more, and I guess Sylvester McCoy was much more like agile than some of the other Doctors at the time. Like, I would say he was he's slightly more agile than most of the others, and then he's sort of in the middle, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Discussing the agility of the Doctor. I mean, I guess like, have you seen that like deleted scene where like they're running away from a Dalek, Doctor and Ace, and Sylvester McCoy jumps over a fence, lands it perfectly. Sophie Aldred, however, lands flat on her face.
Right.
I've seen it since I actually heard that story a few years ago, and it's just she's okay.
My favorite one that I probably did would probably be Griffiths, I would say.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I don't know, I just think that worked really well. And maybe that's because Griffiths had already sort of been cast, and that was the idea it was supposed to be, so maybe all the casting I've done's not been as good as that.
I mean, Paul McGann was great. Richard E. Grant made sense. That was
Richard E.
great.
Grant made sense, but the thing with him is, my idea was always he was going to be one of the people that had sort of same sort of Colin sort of thing, where he was sort of ripped off by the BBC in a sense. He didn't get his full potential because of circumstances.
Yeah, but still, he probably would have been more liked than Colin.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what it would be anyway, because the ratings were, as I've said, would be still solid for those.
Like Davison era ratings, like
I would
8
say.
million.
And then it would go
instead
up.
of like 10 million like the Griffiths era might have done.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. I would say Griffiths started off in its first 2 seasons were... His first season was very much like Sylvester McCoy. Second season was rising up, and by his third season, it was in full-fledged, decent,
Just in time for the 30th anniversary.
Yep, that's how I see it. And you can tell that by the episodes commissioned, and the episodes get better commissioned as they go on. And the budget, I've had to see how it would go. Now, what is your favourite and least favourite era of the timeline?
There's only been... Okay, I know there's not only been 2, but there's essentially only been, 2
There's been the Stephen Garwood,
ones.
the Chris Sandeman, and there's now the Tony Redstone.
I would say...
But with Stephen Garwood, I'd say you can split it. Stephen Garwood's is more splittable between the... You can split both into 2. You get the Griffiths and the McGann, and then you can have the Stephen Moffat and the Russell T Davies and Chris Sandeman's.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the Garwood era as a whole I like, and the Chris Sandeman era. I mean, Chris
Sandeman's era started out strong and then sort of went astray. That's how I would
say it started out competent. I wouldn't say strong, but I wouldn't say weak. Yeah. Then, as it went on, the episodes either the better episodes got better and the worse episodes got worse.
Yeah.
And then Russell T Davies came along, and
it's for season 39.
Season 39 was alright. Season 40 was pretty decent.
Yeah. Season 39, the main problem with that is the last story.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
that one.
That one that they decided, you know what? We're gonna save our budget more than
Hmm.
ever. We're just gonna use previous clips because you know
Yeah.
what? We don't like spending money.
Well, in my mind, the idea for that was they did that because they needed to
Hype, essentially.
introduce the previous Doctors into the new audience that they had, so they knew that for the next season, they knew that they would understand who all these people are.
Yeah. I mean, more people would know who Paul McGann was
Yeah.
than most of the others.
Hmm. That's
And
the
then,
idea.
yeah, so so that's why you only used what was the McGann one you used?
And McGann one I used this. Oh, the McGann one. I think it was Blink I used.
What a good example, a Doctor Light story.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but
Then again,
with the version of Blink there, it's twice as long, even longer than that, than the actual one, because it's 2 hours. So in my mind, with that story, what would have been done is that it would have been split halfway between the Sally Sparrow stuff and the stuff with them in the 60s.
yeah,
So it would have been a
but
whole
like
story with them and the Weeping
yeah,
Angels then.
yeah, but they're intercut really.
Intercut between them as an A plot and a B plot. That's how I see
Yeah.
it. So
So
next
yeah,
one, where did you get the space clips for the Ninth Doctor titles?
um,
I can find those
I
actually. Um, I will find a link to that.
did, does this person mean the first version or the second version?
I'm gonna guess the first version.
If the thing is, first version, if you really just want to use that as a title sequence, it's on the channel. You can find it on
Yeah. If
this
you want,
channel.
yeah, you can find it on the clean titles. I'm trying to find the original video. I've got it here somewhere. It's one of those.
Well, the season 33 titles are
33.
perfect. Just the season 34 titles, you can't. If you want the perfect result for clean titles for that,
Hmm.
just edit them together. That's what I did to like test something out.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh,
just
here we go. Found it. I think. No, I haven't found it. That's something else. It looked the same from the thumbnail, but it's. But it's here somewhere. I will find it.
I'm
I
just
know.
gonna
So I
answer
know
other
some of you.
questions
I know
that
some
are.
of you in the comments. Have the link to it. So if you have that and know where it is, just post that in the chat, because I have the link somewhere. I just can't find it. But just post that in there if you already have that. Oh, no, found it. Anyway, I found it now.
Oh, okay. Um,
Yeah, well,
so
actually, I
people are
found a
saying
short version of it. I haven't found the full version. So,
everyone's
short.
saying they like the Garwood era the most.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people have been saying, "Oh, where does the War Doctor fit in?"
Now, the War Doctor is in this.
There's
Because that the whole Time War stuff simply wouldn't have happened. It only happened just so Russell T Davies could start it anew.
I don't think the Time War, would have actually happened until Doctor Who was actually over 50 years old, if at all,
Yeah.
because like I don't think writers, if we continued with the classic format, I don't think writers from the noughties would have even done it.
Mm.
Like they Gallifrey being destroyed, maybe, but it could have also come back. I mean, I'm 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 totally not hinting at the fact that I'm also thinking of possibly starting a series like this,
Yeah.
but I mean, still
Okay.
developmental.
So,
It's not
how
gonna
do you feel about Jodie Whittaker? I hope she knocks it out of the park. My favourites are Tom Baker, Peter Capaldi. Does she fit into your timeline?
well, does she?
So,
What timeline? Would she fit
now,
in?
I'm not
I mean,
thinking that far ahead. If she would be in it, which I don't know if she would or not, but it would definitely be around the time we are now.
yeah, wouldn't because she'd
As
pretty
for a
much be
female doctor in this timeline, it could happen.
Yeah. I mean, it
I'm saying
could.
it could happen at any time. You know, the next one
I
could
mean,
be
I
female.
mean,
The one after that could be.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, what am I trying to say? Like, you're not against a female doctor,
No, I
really.
think it'd be fine.
That's all. Yeah, like, fun fact. As I am a part of the Universals, as people
Plug.
viewing this may or may not know, I know Ollie is trying to get me to plug it, so I'm plugging it here. I was actually thinking of doing what my thoughts on a female doctor are, but then the whole news about Bill being gay came out.
Hmm.
And it's just that took precedent for me, and I'm like, I've got a perfect video idea that will probably be better than this. And it was like tying into the news, and there was a whole news segment which I kind of regret doing because I was going to do the same thing for the actual Jodie Whittaker announcement, but then I removed it because it was really bad, and my video was too long anyway for that, and I don't really like that video, and it's the second most viewed video on the channel.
Okay,
but
we have
yeah.
lots of suggestions about where all the title clean stuff came from. Now, it would take ages for me to track it all down. I'm not exactly sure. I've got them somewhere. So if you just want to see a clean version, just go on the clean version video.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff on there. Yes, they've got the logos on, but I'm pretty sure you can edit around it.
Yeah.
And with the Grant and McGann late ones, they're pretty much a continuous loop anyway after the logo, so you can just loop it yourself.
Yeah. What does everyone think about the titles, actually? Also, I'm just gonna say, okay, Benjamin Davis says Chibnall chose her because she was the best out of 50 men actors and 50 female actors, not because she is females. Okay, grammar,
yeah,
but still.
I believe she's a good actress. I've seen other stuff with her in, and she is brilliant, isn't she? Have you seen her anything with her in?
I've seen her in Trust Me. Well,
yeah, I
first
watched that. I saw her in
before
as well.
And she was really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
the thing with me, I'd rather have had an older actress to play Doctor, but I'm fine with her.
Yeah,
As long as she does a good job. But I'd rather, in general, I'd rather have older actors playing the Doctor.
Yeah, I mean, I just like good actors playing the Doctor. Hence, McGann's my favorite. But I'd rather have older actors playing the Doctor, mainly because I don't know, that just fits the Doctor from the classic series more. And as much as New Who can be great, I just prefer the like. I mean,
we've had someone comment down here saying the season 33 titles can be found in full by searching Planet Earth Sunrise series. Yes, they can. Thank you. If you want to see them in full, search that in.
Yeah. Anyway, I was about to say I just prefer older actors, but as long as they're good, fine. I mean, I heard somewhere that Judi Dench was actually considered to be the Ninth Doctor in our universe. I don't like that. I don't like. I mean, Judi Dench is a great actress, but like, I see her more as a Rassilon than a Doctor because I don't know. Maybe it's because I see her as M. I always see her as M.
Right, so someone's saying, what favourite story you have done so far? That we've done so far. So now you could say Midnight Upon Us.
yeah, you could say the best Doctor Who story ever made.
However, disregarding one that had been based upon other ones, I'm going to say the best original one. What would you say that would be?
The best original creation.
Yep.
Brings up the. I'm gonna count the list of unmade stories that weren't actually
you can
adapted
count that as well.
I mean, it may not change anything, but I'm just gonna say that, and I'm just stalling while I'm trying to find. Actually, there's a whole like wiki page.
Yeah, there
like,
is, which is
alternate history
really odd.
I'm surprised I didn't make it
because someone's made a wiki page, pretty much loads of stuff about it, and loads of stuff that I have said as well, which some of the stuff I can't remember saying is on
There's
there as
only
well.
one page about your series, and then there's another. There's a few pages all to do with like the same sort of thing, but not yours.
Hmm.
They've got some of the same doctors, but different
Yeah. So,
stuff. Colin
Ollie
Baker,
ever
Ivy.
was saying, if anything could be different in your series, what would it be? Now, there's
There's a lot of changes you could make,
a lot
like
of changes I would make, and one of
Ben
them would
Aronovich staying
be,
for too long.
yeah, Ben Aronovich. I wouldn't have had him staying the whole time as Stephen Garwood. I would have had him maybe do a few years and then brought someone else in. But that's just
The
something
six
there.
parters. There's
Six
too many
parters I probably wouldn't have put in now. I did at the time. But you know, when I first planned this, it was back January 2016. And that was a long time ago. You
And a
know?
minor thing, the Paul McGann aspect ratio. Didn't you say that you would want it to be 14:9 as opposed to 16:9?
I think I would have had, yeah, between 1998 and 2000, I would have probably had it 14 because that's what the BBC would have started doing. But I would say,
But then 16:9 in 2001.
yeah, I'd
because
say
history
maybe
and
it was
stuff.
made in 16:9 and it might have been cropped to 40:9 for broadcast. Yeah, it's the thing is there were 16:9 shows at the time, and there were 14:9, and there was still 4:3 going all the way up to the mid noughties. It was very much
Yeah.
a mixture of all these aspect ratios at the time.
But then when BBC HD stuff happened, everything was HD, I guess.
And then there was stuff that wasn't HD. No, it's yeah, it's all very. Anyway, best story we have done.
Right, I'm gonna
I've
look
done.
up.
Well, let's go to that wiki page. Shall we?
Original stories. So
Original. I'm just gonna get my spreadsheet up. Now, I have got a spreadsheet of all of these, their directors, their cast, their air dates,
I've
their production
actually
codes. So,
yeah, the production codes did change recently after like I decided, do you know what? I want you to be a nerd. Do this, please.
I've
Become
got
nerd.
production codes. You know, Earthfade is 7R. Enemy of Varos is 9D. Here We Go Again is 10G. Times Crucible is 10M. Whereas when you get season 41, Lord President of Gallifrey, for example, is 41A. Whereas Doctor the Movie was
Because-
10X.
Yeah.
So that's how the production codes work. And if you know anything about the production codes of Classic Who, then you will know how this fits in. Which it
Yeah.
just follows on.
And if you see what they all are, some of them are out of order. We might try to scramble a few just see which seasons had production errors or whatever.
Yes, some of them are out of order. For example, Here We Go Again was the last one produced in season 37 because it would have been produced with leftover season 1.
Yeah.
And
Which
there's some other
that's
stuff.
the most
For example,
notable
Doctor Who the movie was produced as the first one of season 40 because it would have been produced concurrently with season 40, would have been first. So they could film the Doctors all separately so they could film at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, how long do you want to keep this series going? Ollie asks again. And that's the idea is it will be done until we catch up with whatever year I end up finishing it. So 2017, probably 2018. I would do it up to then.
And
then
maybe do it annually.
And then maybe do it annually. But I will be definitely making those documentary videos that I started delving into more information about it.
Yeah.
So like the America one, that is just the first one. I will be doing more, but and I've got more time to do them because at the moment I'm focusing on making the actual episodes first.
Yeah. As for my favorite original one, Plan B by Ian Levine.
Yeah.
The Return of Naimon by Russell T Davies.
Yeah, okay, that would change that.
Yeah, you've changed The Return of Naimon just so I stop mentioning it.
Other ones, Ashes to Ashes to Dust. never mind the Roku, stuff like that.
Yeah, I want to.
What else have we got? The Last Night. You know.
The thing is, the best ones I could think of are the ones that are already existing in our universe as in some form.
Yeah, but that's probably because you know most about them.
Yeah,
Because all you've got is a couple of line synopsis, and that's it.
I know what the worst one that's been like in our universe.
Mm-hmm.
The Hostage by Neil Penswick. It's probably the worst one that exists in our universe because that actually comes from the novel The Pit, which was adapted from an unmade story called Hostage. And it is the first. If you consider, like, if you're going to read all of the Virgin New Adventures, and you're going to pay attention to which one's important, even some of the early bad ones are important. The Pit, you can skip. It's the first one you can skip, which says a lot. Because Neil Penswick was a one-hit wonder when it came to that. So yeah. I will say, I mean, can I say the Dark Dimension? Does that count? I can't hear you currently. This usually happens during our Skype calls.
Hello.
It's out. Hello.
Hello. Right. How have you wanted to stop this series is another question we got in. I was originally going to stop it after the Griffiths era, and then people just had to continue it, so I did.
Like, I think, yeah. I mean, okay, I don't know what to say. Oh, what is your favorite regeneration story? I can tell you mine.
What is
The
it?
Last Night is mine.
It would
Doctor the movie might be, or he doesn't. That person doesn't specifically say who's regenerating. So the Battle of the Strong, then.
With the Rani. Now
Yeah,
there is an explanation for why the Rani just can't regenerate in season 42, because I know people did pick up on that, and that didn't mean people were a bit confused by that. But yes, there's a reason for that. That will be explained.
But you'll have to see in half an hour.
28 minutes and 16 seconds. Even a different time to that. I'm looking at the wrong time.
I've got a horrible, not even warm hot chocolate because I left it out too long.
So,
what do you think of the Imperial Daleks? They are beautiful.
Yeah, and they would have continued until the story. I can't remember the name of it. But there was a story where the Imperial Daleks do get destroyed in this series. Could you tell me the name of it? Because you seem to have more of an encyclopedia knowledge of this.
I don't actually know which one would have been the final one. You used a picture of the Special Weapons Dalek in Hatred of the Daleks, but
no.
But you used a picture of the Special Weapons Dalek in Hatred of the Daleks from memory. So I guess that would have been the sort of Victory of the Daleks type thing, where they were making new Daleks, so there's new Dalek designs, but they fizzled out the Imperials.
Yeah. Anyway, someone did put a question earlier on, which we haven't been able to answer yet, and that was favourite version of the Griffiths titles. So red version, blue version, normal version.
I think it just has to be normal.
The normal version.
I don't have any preference over the theme tune.
My favourite version of the theme was the one I introduced in third, because it had the cloister bell over it, and I just think that made it sound really... I really liked the sound of that.
I feel like that worked with that season.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, getting into that dark dimension stuff, very...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite Universal's video.
Okay.
Everyone knows the best Universal's video is Boogie Woogie of Mars.
No, the best the Universal's video is the Doctor Star Trek affair.
Hashtag plug.
Yeah, go watch that. Anyway, questions. Just keep bringing in the questions. Can we have David Bradley in the 50th anniversary special as the first Doctor and more meeting Jeffrey Bale as Master? Now, David Bradley in the 50th special, I would go no. I'd say in this timeline, I don't think they would have done that. I think they would have just stuck with the live Doctors in specials. Because even using them, it's a bit of a stretch in how they look. But that's would have gone. As for Jeffrey Belden's Master, well,
wait and see.
Wait and see. Yep, wait and see.
I've got a suggestion. So we have discussed possible recastings for the Rogue. We're not saying for certain if the Rogue is gonna die next season, season after, or whatever, and regenerate into someone. But it's just something, because Derek Jacobi can't stay forever.
Derek Jacobi in this has been doing it since season 36, 1999 at this point.
Yeah, from 1999. Kate O'Mara stayed for a long time as the Rani, but
that was on and off appearances. The Rogue's been pretty much in it at least 1 or 2 appearances every season.
Yeah, and seeing how he's now a main character.
Good, but this is the secondary character. He's the also starring first.
He's essentially the companion, if you will.
Sort of. He's the one that can leave Gallifrey and do stuff while the Doctor has to stay there.
Yeah. So
he's his eyes and ears.
So yeah. We thought of a few. I'm not sure we decided on one because I've now been like, I had a brainwave.
We're not going to mention any names here.
Let's just say you've already used one Unbound Doctor. Why not use another?
Right.
Yeah. You use the woman from Exile. Yeah, use that one.
Yeah, that's a new
oh my gosh! You've already used 2 Unbound Doctors because I've just realised Derek Jacobi. Well, then again, he wasn't really the Doctor, but he was the main character in Deadline.
Now, any more questions?
Nicholas Briggs as the Rogue. Nicholas Briggs will appear in the flesh at some point. I don't know when. You don't know when.
No,
it'll just happen at some point.
It'll be there. Yeah, I phased in Nicholas Briggs and phased out what's his name? The guy who used to do it in the classic series.
Yeah. But Nick Briggs will appear in the flesh.
Yeah. So we've got 22 minutes
left. The Children of Earth.
Got 22 minutes left here. So let's continue.
Yeah.
Let's talk about season 35, shall we?
Okay, season 35.
Season 35, when Sammy Thompson was introduced.
Yeah, which I feel like if you're gonna have an American companion, like
we just had 2, Grace Holloway and Sammy Thompson, straight after each other.
Yeah, I don't mind American companions. It's an American Doctor I really don't want.
No, I don't think so.
Other Time Lords can have an American accent, just not the Doctor.
Okay, we've got a question. Was your choice of Head's Doctor and Gallifrey influenced by the announcement Time in Office, or was it a coincidence? Now, no, it wasn't influenced. Time in Office I found about quite recently, actually, and I think it's brilliant. It's more of a sitcom than actual how I've done it here, but it's... No, I was sort of a bit annoyed, actually, when I saw that. I was like, seriously, you're stealing my ideas, But, yeah, and I was looking at the cover and saying, oh, I wish I'd been able to do a Photoshop as that.
You can still do it. You still have time. Doctor's not left Gallifrey again yet.
No, anyway, season 35, the episodes there are, what would you say about them?
Okay, first of all, just live chat. Thomas Productions keep asking, in issue 255, do you like the ending for McCoy as he is locked in a room, tied up after going insane? That is not how he should have went out in the 90s. What is that?
I have read that, and no, I do not like that, and that is why I did not use it.
I don't like that idea, but I would rather have the idea of the 7th Doctor going out on his own terms. His ending is his plan. That's why I think Klein's story has the best ending for the Seventh Doctor anyone could have ever thought of. Because it was all part of the plan.
Now, another one is, what was the most interesting story you've developed for your series? Now, with that, is one you haven't seen yet. It would be essentially the whole story of season 43, which is still a long way away, actually, think about that, because we do have something between 42 and 43. But I've started developing that, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm interested how it's going, because it's still along the same lines as 41 and 42, but it's done in a very different way, if you understand what I mean there. Well, you'll understand by the end of the 42 video.
I already know I've just realized what my favorite, not in our universe story would be from your series. How am I so stupid not to have thought of this? Forgotten in Time by the best writer Doctor Who ever had.
Robert Sherman. The one about the rogue sort of going mad with 50 years. Is it 50 years of memories?
I think it might be more than 50 years, but
something I can't remember exactly what I did.
A big number, number bigger than I can count.
Yeah,
totally.
So yeah, let's look back at season 35. As I'm saying, I'm cute trying to say. So we've got
this time we're back at season.
The Castle That Time Forgot, Killers of the Dark, Doomwave's Iceberg, A Case of the Blue Box, Attack of the Mind, Wallpaper, and The Man with the Hollow Head. Now,
we said it at the same time. I figured out what the Castle of Time Forgot was based on.
Yep.
It was based on an unmade 60s script, hence by Mervyn Haseman and Henry Lincoln.
Yep.
And it would have featured the Great Intelligence and the Yeti, and of course Jamie McCribbin, because it was going to be for season 6.
Yeah, and now
it would have been Jamie's last story. I can't remember what it was called, but the Lairds of McCribbin, I think.
Now, the thoughts of this was that it would be the original scripts that would have been heavily edited by Stephen Moffat. That's the idea we got, and that's why they're edited there. That's how I see it.
Because it's not necessarily a Stephen Moffat script. However, Killers of the Dark is also based on an unmade story, and Russell T Davies picked it up, did most of the work. Stephen Moffat just script edited it. That's why it's by Russell T Davies. Doomwraiths was originally by Philip Martin, so now it is also by Philip Martin. Iceberg was based on the Virgin New Adventure by the same name. Case for the Blue Box is basically you want a Star Trek crossover. That's not actually a Star Trek crossover.
Yeah, that's pretty much the idea.
Yeah,
and that's the first
to be Star Trek.
No, and that's the first one that was done with Paramount, and that's where the Paramount co-production sort of thing came from.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Attack of the Mind was also an unmade script. For Trial of a Time Lord, I believe. Wallpaper was just so you could get Joseph Lister in the series, just in case you need.
Now that
to
might
use
have
him
come
again.
from somewhere, might have not. I've got no idea. I can't remember.
I can't find anything.
And then The Man with the Hollow Head. Now that one's about a man with a hollow head, I think.
That man being the Doctor.
Yeah, the fake clone Doctor, and that
I
think stemmed from
an allegory for Stephen Moffat right now, like in his era in our universe. There's a hollow head.
Let's talk about the Rogue, shall we? A bit about the Rogue.
Yes.
So the Rogue, the creation for that in my mind was that they wanted to get away. They wanted to have a main villain really for the series that wasn't the Master, because the Master had this sort of camp image to him.
Yeah, I feel like
Chris Adam wasn't a fan of. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know what would be better to get rid of the stigma. Just regenerate him off, have a new incarnation that's much more serious, or have time like you had in your series. Have time between them.
Yeah, and I put the Rogue in there. Now the Rogue starts off as a baddie, but as the time goes on, and as you start seeing season 41, he develops into a bit like how Missy sort of developed into a, better good character, if you could say, but it's not necessarily as mad as her version.
Yeah.
And
Wallpaper was an unmade Sarah Jane adventure.
Oh, was it? Well, I must have known that, but I've forgotten it. But that's where it would have come from. Thank you, Arturu Games. I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
I hope you are too. Ollie says, thoughts on Twice Upon a Time. The Whovian 1963 says, this has nothing to do with Twice Upon a Time.
It's nothing to do with Twice Upon a Time. It's nothing to do with...
How do you...
It is nothing to do with Twice Upon a Time.
Not right now, but how do you know Twice Upon a Time won't appear in the series at some point?
It won't.
Okay. well, it depends how good it is.
It won't.
Okay.
So, let's talk about what other stuff we got here. We've got
Wallpaper was for series 4 of I'm gonna assume Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yeah. Okay, but let's talk about the reintroduction of Katie Salinger after her death in Ashes to Ashes, Dust to Dust.
Yeah.
Now, that was done because Leftover needed a lead, and that's how I think they would have thought about it as well. And it needed one that was fairly recent in the world of Doctor Who at that time, but wasn't too recent that it made sense her coming back to life and not someone like Bernie who had, died more recently than Katie had, so it wouldn't be silly.
I mean, you shouldn't have killed Benny off. You could kill Henrik. He was there for too long.
Well, Henrik died about 3 times. He became a dick, and then he died, and then he sort of survived, and then he died.
Oh dear. You basically introduced Clara into your series.
Yeah, but Henrik had already died as sort of a Dalek mutant before, and then it was the mutant that was staying on. So he hadn't died throughout. It was sort of in his last 2 stories.
For like 6 seasons.
No.
Before that.
The longest running companion, I think, by episodes.
I'm not sure by episodes.
I think it's by episode it is.
Maybe by episodes.
I've got a list of how many episodes he did actually.
Well, with Big Finish into your series, we actually said that Big Finish wouldn't.
No, Big Finish wouldn't be around because really, even though I love Big Finish, realistically, it wouldn't have started if Doctor Who was still on.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't.
This message has been held for review. Show or hide.
What one is it? Let me have a look. Oh, that's fine. Someone just put die Henrik.
Oh, okay. Die, Henrik! Die!
Okay, Mondasian Cybermen would have been back for the most questionable decision in the universe.
Because
the Genesis of the Cybermen story.
That is spare parts.
Yep. Okay, so we got Katie Salinger did 50.
You cut out for me again.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
So
I can hear you.
Okay. So Henrik did 123 episodes. Katie Salinger did 58. Bernie Summerfield did 76. Grace Holloway did 80. Sammy did 128. And Sandra Armstrong did 41. So
I have a feeling it could be.
So Sammy did more episodes, but
yeah, more episodes.
Henrik did it for longer.
Henrik was there for more seasons.
Yeah.
So how many episodes did? Sorry, let me just check. Compare it to Jamie McCrimmon.
Jamie McCrimmon was in 100 plus episodes. Someone's put, but so was Henrik.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna put Jamie McCrimmon into Google.
Episodes did he do? So Sammy would be the longest running by episodes. You could say.
I'm trying to find how many episodes. It's kind of hard. Um, but
Wait, shall we actually talk a bit about these scripts, shall we?
ooh, the scripts that would
So,
have been.
so we have been working on writing up some scripts for some of the episodes that you think about here.
Yeah, we started a few, but
Yeah.
the one that we're actually probably going to finish first is
Yeah,
probably
and
the
that's
easier
nearly
one
finished now. We're
to do.
doing the Forest of the Dead, but it's very different. Well, it's sort of quite different from the original.
It's largely the same.
There's an
It's
extra 30
largely the
minutes
same.
on it, and the characters are different, and some of the stories are different. Some of the bits of the story types are different.
Yeah, because let's just say, okay, River Song's gone, but we're replacing her with a different character because it would be very hard to.
Yeah, but that character isn't
undo
the same.
that.
That character's a completely different character to River Song, and it's different personality and everything. I've
Yeah,
rewritten
but
that character.
also the character that we're replacing her with is a character that. Okay, shut up, Ollie. Don't say it. Is because I have told him because Universal's people. If you're in the Universals, you can know. But if okay, this character, yeah, she exists in our universe.
Yeah.
And she is not different in terms of personality, but different in terms of occupation.
Yep. And timeline.
What she does, and of course time.
So what I am gonna say is that with these scripts, we are doing a few, but if any of you are able to write script, you know how to write.
We will get you to write it
if you want to, just contact us.
Yeah.
And we'll see about that. If you are honest enough to write it, if you do know how to write a script, if you can write 120 pages of a story based upon a single paragraph.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to write The Enemy Within, fine. We won't.
Yes, six parts of just Richard Griffiths in the TARDIS.
3 hours of Richard Griffiths wandering about the TARDIS getting a bit mad.
Yep. So if you do want to write that, you can, but I doubt anyone does.
And if you want to help us write Nightshade and Damaged Goods,
anything based upon one of the actual books, you can.
Yeah.
But we are focusing on a few at the moment. But what I will do is probably release them as PDF on a video somewhere, so you can read the scripts once they are done. And I might even see if we can go down some private self-publishing sort of route. So you can see if you want to get them printed and own them, you can. In sort of these 1990s script books style they did with Ghostlight, and well, I think they did that with a few others as well. That's the first one that comes to mind.
I mean, we could do. We are thinking, because of something we're doing in the Forest of the Dead, we are thinking of doing the rest of season 34. But
season 34 would be good, or at least do the last story, season 34 as well,
and then work backwards.
Yeah, because they are linked. There is a character that is very different in. Yeah, there's another character that is very different in the Forest of the Dead, who
played by the same character.
Played by the same actor, I would say.
And the characterization is pretty much the same, but let's just say
I've changed some stuff there.
Yeah.
So 6 minutes until 42.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to confirm the running time of this episode, shall I? Now it is shorter than the others, because the opening bit isn't as long, because it's pretty much the same as 41 as in all the production
you do
stuff.
Explain the title sequence change.
Yeah, there is a title sequence change. The title sequence.
There is always one.
Yeah,
there is always a title sequence.
They're very similar. They're just a few subtle changes, and it's not just Siobhan Redmond's appearance in it.
Yeah. The appearance. Let's just say you've already seen it. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
And Ollie asks, "Who is your least favorite companion?"
Least favorite one I did. Sandra Armstrong.
I'd say Sandra, because she's a bit of a bitch, isn't she?
Yeah.
I
Running
mean,
time.
She develops it, yeah.
So running time, 14 minutes and 39 seconds for anyone who cares. That's how long it is.
How long? Sorry, just to repeat it.
14 minutes and 39 seconds.
There you go for people who actually care for some reason.
Yeah. So it's shorter than the 21 minutes of
codes. I swear more people will care about the production codes than the actual runtime of each of your episodes.
So
no one's talked about it but me, but
yeah,
I think I'm one more than zero, so
yeah. I'm gonna put on the teaser poster. I'll put that on this live stream anyway. For the series.
Yeah.
Oops, it's a bit big.
From memory, it's a bit simplistic.
Yes, it'll be posted in about January or February, early that year, I would say.
That's just
so okay. Before footage was filmed. So there you go. Put that on there. It'd be a bit weird at the moment.
Okay. Let's just say the season was delayed for a reason.
Yeah. Originally, it would have been supposed to be July,
but you'll find out why it was delayed.
Yeah.
In the actual
episodes,
video,
yeah.
Because let's just say you do realize what happened in 2005, and I don't mean Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Please tell me that Matt Smith continued as a football player on the timeline. I don't think he would have anyway. If everyone was pretty much the same, we just changed what Doctor Who was like, then we don't know if Matt Smith would become the Doctor.
I don't know.
Probably not, because you really don't like Matt Smith, but...
No, I don't like Matt Smith's Doctor, so probably not.
Yeah, but I don't think he would be a footballer. I think he would still be an actor.
Okay, 3 minutes 24 seconds.
What's the best logo?
Best logo, which is the one you prefer, because I can't really be very impartial since I made all of them. Well, a few of them were based on other ones.
Okay, here's my favorite one.
What?
The it was in 2003. It was in season 40 during Conundrum.
There's the best one. Okay,
what's the best one?
Okay, you've got either Griffiths, McGann and Grant. Well, Griffiths / McGann, McGann / Grant, or the Anthony.
My favorite one was the first McGann one, because it was basically like the previous one but blue, and blue makes everything better.
Right.
I mean, like, yeah, making something a different color makes it automatically better. That's why I prefer the Colin Baker titles, because they're colorful.
Yeah, well, yeah, so we've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds till this should be going live if the scheduling will work fine. I'm just going to check that just to hope it does.
On the live stream, for me, it still currently says like 3:09, 3:08.
Yeah, but there's a 30-second delay.
Yeah.
So let's just hope that is actually going up at the right time and hasn't already gone up. Mistake. Oh no!
If the seventh came back one day, I give him a Sonic Spoon Driver.
Sonic Spoon Driver.
No.
I don't think so.
The Sonic Trowel was bad enough. Paul McGann Voyager.
Now,
it's not Doctor Who anymore. The show's just named after Paul McGann.
Yeah. Yeah. It should be starting It should be on any time now in the next minute or so. You should be enjoying.
So yeah.
Yeah, enjoying season 42.
Yeah,
so if that's all the questions. Hope you enjoy that. The countdown is here. Remember to keep your thoughts about it there, and if you do want to contact us, you can contact me at DaDoctorWhoFan@gmail.com.
Yeah, and me just dr.matthew64@gmail.com, or just I mean, can people private message me on Twitter? I mean, if I allow them to,
Yeah.
fine, I guess.
So there we go. So now it should be out now. So I hope you.
Richard E. Grant Enterprise.
Yeah. So we're gonna be stopping this pretty soon because
Yeah.
it is out pretty much. I know the time it still says 19 seconds, but yeah, it's a bit down, but it's still saying you. Yeah, it's out. So
it's still counting down, but it's actually out.
Yeah, it is actually out. So if you want to go and watch it, go on now. Why are you still here? Lee, go on, watch it.
Just do something with your life that isn't watching this. Watch season 42.
Okay, it is done. So, now, okay,
Right.
I just want to check this hasn't been copyrighted. Just let me check. No, it hasn't been copyrighted. There we go.
Doubt it would have, because we haven't used any copyright
I know,
material.
but still, I have got a few copyrighted without using copyrighted material, so I wanted to be sure. But it should be out now, which is great. There we go. Oh, we've got the comments coming in. So there we go. I hope you enjoy, and we're going to end the stream here. So goodbye, and enjoy season 42.
Yeah, I thought you already ended the stream, but yeah, enjoy.